everybody, to the Ring Generals podcast. My name is Nick Nenad. Alongside me is Eric.
What's going on?
And the RKJ man.
Let's talk that talk, y'all. Hypocritical Nick, what's good?
How's it going, man? Hypocritical Nick is here, and I will admit that I thought Deontay Wilder would win.
Hold on.
Don't we all?
Fifth round.
You
Don't
didn't
we all?
let me introduce Easy.
I already introduced him.
Well, I
RKJ.
wanted to introduce
But
him
that's
too.
not. We never do that.
But I want to introduce him
Not
via
really.
mine.
That's
Not
why I
much.
did it. You know, we should let RKJ man start the show next time.
Yeah.
I don't want to
change it
start
up.
the show.
Change it up.
So
Don't
shout
want
out
to
to
sense.
Easy E over there on the other side of the table of us.
But then again,
He's so far away.
But then again, in the Cover 2 podcast, I know you and Jared tend to switch. Remember?
We switch.
Yeah, you guys switch. So
We
could
switch.
probably
We
do
got to
that.
even it out. There got to be a different voice that starts each segment. But that's we have commercials on that one, so
Yeah,
we
that's
actually
true.
need to switch it up. This one we're just talking and pulling through, so we don't need to. We don't need
Easy
to.
E, what's good though?
Yeah.
What's going on?
What is going on?
What's cooking?
Eric?
What's going on? It's raining like crazy outside.
Oh yeah, of course, man.
Oh
It's
my
like
God.
raining hard.
Cold.
I'm doing this
Yeah.
whole podcast with no socks.
Drive safely out there.
Yes, the RKJ man took off his shoes,
And
which
socks.
is a sanitary problem here in the studio, but we're gonna let it go.
Doesn't matter.
I'll
it's
take
comfortable.
my shots after.
I'm
letting it dry.
I'm gonna bring in my
You're
gas
too
mask.
close to me, Nick. I told you. I told you,
guess-
don't look down, bro.
I'm not looking down, man.
You're gonna see gang signs.
I don't want to see.
You don't want to see gang signs.
It's a really good
They're
joke.
gonna come at you, man. They're coming
You
after
know-
you.
Ryan's feet apparently look like Crip signs.
Oh.
So that's
To all my Crip brothers out there.
absolutely.
Our
fans.
Hey, shout out to the Crip brothers. How's it going?
yeah, what's
Shout
going
out
on,
to the
guys?
Crips.
I am not.
Shout out to the Crips.
Hey.
Starting this podcast dangerously today.
I'm not gonna be saying anything
Hey,
else.
if you're Crip, Blood, Nazi, and Red Dead Redemption,
Whoa.
it does not matter.
Man,
We
you're
will
going
allow you-
all off the rails
If
today.
you give
Going off.
us your presence and give us your feedback, we will accept you to a certain extent. That's I'm just kidding.
I'm not
just
accepting
kidding.
no Nazis.
I'm just kidding.
And no, I do not
How
associate
about
with no
coke dealers
gangsters.
and
Coke
coke
dealers
dealers?
is okay.
Yeah?
Because there's some Coke dealers though. Like,
As long as they're good.
Biggie
Cool.
Smalls was a Coke dealer, but I wouldn't say that guy would not be allowed on the podcast.
Why are we talking about cocaine right now? Oh,
I don't know.
because I said it just my feet look so bad. It looks
You
like
mentioned
gang
your feet
signs.
looking like Coke dealers, so we had to.
Yeah, we
My
just
feet
have to
doesn't look
insert
like
that.
coke dealers, sir. I'm not a gangster or anything. In case
No,
people are wondering.
clearly not.
Clearly not.
Yeah.
Yet.
And I don't associate that with anybody. I've already told the story in the last podcast about how I
Yes.
was wearing the red hat and somebody called me a blood. Then
Yeah.
I threw the red hat away immediately.
Check that out,
But
guys.
because he's part of the Crips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
See, you gonna get me shot. Nick's gonna get me shot.
Hey, we don't gotta worry about that. We
You
walk
gonna get me
outside the
knocked-
studio.
Protected, man.
That's
You know
why
what,
we
you
can say this stuff.
You gonna
though.
get me knocked out like
You're-
Tyson Fury got
yeah.
knocked out.
He didn't get knocked out though.
He
didn't get knocked out.
He rose from the
You're
dead.
saying the wrong stuff, man. You're giving these people bad information. He got knocked out
for 8 seconds.
Seconds.
for 8
and he
seconds.
rose from the dead.
Yeah. I didn't, I just didn't know The Undertaker was in that boxing match. I did not know.
I didn't know that either.
But let's educate the people on what we're talking about. If you did not watch on Saturday night, one of the biggest boxing matches of the year and the biggest heavyweight fight in years, Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury. Obviously, we talked about this fight on the last podcast. We predicted what would happen. I said 5th round knockout. I was wrong. Although Deontay Wilder was going for it, he wasn't able to do it. Eric, you said late rounds for Tyson Fury,
10th or 11th round.
and you
around
said
that
a
too.
similar thing, right?
I
RKJ,
said
man?
12th round.
You said 12th round. So if you didn't watch the fight, in the fight, pretty much Tyson Fury dominated the fight. Besides 2 knockdowns from Deontay Wilder that were clear knockdowns, especially the last one. Where in the last one, it looked like he got knocked out cold with a right hand and a left hook on the way down. Most people don't survive that and have brain damage after. And Tyson Fury, for some reason, got up, was able to finish the fight, and it ended in a draw. So all of us got the fight wrong. I want to get your guys' take on this because this has been highly debated. Was it a draw, or did Fury win because of the 2 knockdowns, or did Wilder win because of the 2 knockdowns, or did Fury win overall by just winning a lot of rounds? What do you guys think happened in this fight?
I'm gonna have to go with if anything, as far as punches go, Fury, I think he won the match. But the only chance that I think that Wilder could have, knocked him down, would have done more work on Tyson Fury, was on that time when he actually knocked him down. He would have, if anybody else, if it wasn't for if Fury was not there in the fight, then somebody else would probably be down by now. But with Tyson Fury, he surprised me. I actually thought he was down. but he quickly rose up and continued the fight. That guy is a master when it comes down to taunting people, and he did a good job of doing that. And he fooled us, just like to Wilder and just like to us. But if anything, I think Fury won the bout, if anything. I don't know if he got robbed or maybe this is just a way of trying to have just an excuse to have another rematch, between Wilder and Fury, because the first one proved to be a pretty good fight.
I too agree with you, Eric. I think Fury won. He clearly landed more punches than Wilder. That was given more credit. I mean, my frustration with Wilder, though, and I was, saying this previously in our group chat, is that Wilder's biggest offense is his knockout punch. But when you're not getting people, when you're not knocking people out in the first, second, third rounds, and as the fight progresses, you're spending so much energy trying to knock somebody out that it gets to the point where, those end rounds, if you can't get that knockout, it's either going to be a draw or you're going to lose the fight because they're obviously connecting on more punches than you. And we saw that all throughout the fight with Fury and Wilder. Fury was connecting on those punches, those little jabs, to the face or to the body or whatnot. That was getting credit from the judges. And Wilder was just like, let me just wait for an opening and then I'll try to knock him out. And we saw it twice and Fury got up. And Wilder had no response. Instead of going back on him and attacking him further and getting that knockout, Fury just stood in there like a man and took it. And so, for me personally, I'm disappointed in Wilder because I expected him to bring more of a different type of style to this matchup, too. I know, obviously, he goes for those bombs. He's the Bronx Bomber. He goes for all those uppercuts. Those uppercuts. Yeah. Anything that could just get you knocked out. But this is where, I can respect being able to make adjustments mid-fight. If you see that this guy is clearly not going for that, if he's clearly defending against that, go for the body. Do other things. Back him up in the corner. I think there was a few times when Wilder had him up against the corner. He had Fury up against the corner, and instead of connecting and keeping it against the ropes or in the corner, he let Fury get out of it. Fury was able to get out of it and get little jabs and whatnot. And that's basically what Fury was doing. He was avoiding the knockout punch. He was jabbing whenever possible. He was connecting, and that's what got him to a situation where even when Wilder was making those furious comebacks in those later rounds, and we obviously saw the 2 knockouts, the match still ended in a draw.
Yeah, no, I was frustrated with Wilder too, and he came out and said in his kind of post-fight media tour that he and Jason Whitlock from Fox Sports said that he choked, but I don't think it was that. Wilder admitted that he saw openings and for some reason wasn't able to capitalize on them.
That's because, in my opinion, I don't think he's a good enough boxer.
Or you don't think that Fury led him?
I don't think he's a complete boxer, basically, what I'm trying to say. I don't think he's a complete boxer. A complete boxer can see openings and attack those openings. And if they can't get to those openings, they'll find other ways. And then in the later rounds, guess what? You've tired your opponent out so much, then you can get back to what makes you what you are. He wasn't doing that. I just saw him trying to knock him out the whole entire time.
Yeah,
and Fury called that. Fury called that. He called that. And he tired him out, and at the very end, Fury just had just enough to get out. He had some divine Jesus Christ from on high came down and touched Fury and said, "Get up!" That's what got it had to be.
Yeah,
he set up.
Wilder, that's an interesting point you bring up though, with the fact that he's not a complete boxer, and he also admitted that not the nerves, but the spotlight. And the fact that it was in the United States and that they actually got a pretty good crowd inside the Staples Center to watch that fight amped him up too much, and he kind of got off his game plan and was just, you're right, going for that knockout. So he kind of admitted that's what he was trying to do. And to be honest, he did it. But somehow Fury got up, and it doesn't make it. It was literally straight out of pro wrestling.
We try to explain
the one guy's winning the whole fight, and the one guy. I thought the guy that was favored, the guy, if you looked at the betting lines, the guy that was favored was was Wilder. And so, it's Goliath. Funny enough, reversed because Fury's huge and 6'9" and 260. Yeah. But you had David versus Goliath here. Fury not fighting for 3 years essentially, and Wilder being the champ, having defended the title, numerous times in a row. And Wilder just got too caught up in the moment, but it ended up being a draw for him. And I think where you look at this is I thought Fury won the fight too. But the draw I thought was a fair ending because both these guys showcased who they were, and there wasn't really a definitive winner. Fury technically won the fight, but he didn't really. If you get knocked on your ass and essentially get knocked out twice.
That's a good point.
Yeah, it get knocked out twice. And like I was just telling you, RKJ, man, when we were doing our prep, Fury's busted up. His face is busted up. Deontay Wilder is fine. Deontay Wilder barely has any scratch. So obviously these punches from Tyson Fury weren't connecting that hard on Deontay Wilder's face. Because he had it didn't even look like he was in a boxing match.
But that was Fury's game, though. As more and more I watched that boxing match, the more and more I realized he's just baiting him. He's a master taunting him, and on top of that, he's getting little miniature jabs in order to get the judges to say, "Oh, he's connecting." And it just seems like Wilder is just getting frustrated and trying to go out for the knockout punch, but he's missing. He's not getting it. And then at the very end. Wilder got him.
Got lucky.
He tagged him.
Yeah, he got lucky.
He tagged him.
Okay.
Go watch it. Go watch it again. Watch the knockout in the 12th round that ended up not being a knockout.
One of the best comebacks.
And he woke up like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
He's literally the bald Undertaker. Actually, the Undertaker is bald now. So
yeah, he's bald.
So it's like.
Oh, he has long hair now. He's like on and off.
And off with his hair. He has the recede. How about the receding Undertaker? Because the receding hairline.
The receding taker.
The receding taker.
British version of Undertaker.
They're just disrespecting everybody.
Yeah, we apologize. Undertaker, sorry.
He's got an Instagram account, so
he gonna whoop our ass.
Yeah, Undertaker will literally kill us. So we literally got lightning bolt right in the studio.
Literally have a podcast name called "Stay Off Your Wife's Instagram."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Why'd you have to bring that up again?
Damn it.
Because people can listen to it on our archives.
Absolutely, yeah. If you want to go up, listen to
and if you're
Instagram.
And if you're Michelle McCool, go for it.
Go for it.
Keep putting them on your Instagram. We'll keep making fun of them.
Subscribe.
Yeah, but so back to the fight. I think the draw is okay in this sense because this showcased heavyweight boxing. Deontay Wilder has the hardest punch I've ever seen of anybody in my life. The guy connects once and knocks him down. And then connects again in the 12th round for only the second time. And it knocks him down. Fury's the whole time. He's hitting his face the whole time. Nothing's happening.
Boxing.
Nothing's happening. But Wilder has such a hard punch that he literally was able to draw by essentially connecting twice. That you're showcasing what boxing is about, what heavyweight boxing is about. The unbelievable power versus the unbelievable technicality of Tyson Fury. And that's why it was a draw. And now, probably the next fight we'll have is Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua, because Fury did look like the winner. If you had to choose a winner, if a gun was to your head, you're picking Tyson Fury. I think we all agree with that. Tyson Fury won that fight if you had to pick.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, if you had to pick. So Fury will get the next fight. It'll be Englishman versus Englishman. Anthony Joshua cannot run away from this. And then I think we'll eventually see...
He's got to stop ducking, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think we'll eventually see a rematch...
Stop being a beta male.
...of Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. Yeah. Hopefully Tyson Fury can go in and beat Anthony Joshua, and then that would be even more, hey, let's give Wilder a chance to really knock him out, and then we can prove if Tyson Fury... Because I think if this happens again...
They will.
Wilder's knocking him the hell out. All right, there's no way Fury survives the next fight. And that's why if Fury's smart, although he did say he wanted another fight in Old Trafford where Manchester United plays for the next fight and put it on European soil... I don't think Fury really wants that rematch because I think 100% Wilder would win the next one. Because I think he'll be on his game. The crowd won't amp him up. The crowd won't change his mindset. And I think he'll go in there smarter. And he already drew. He didn't actually lose. So he's 40-0-1. It
didn't really tarnish the reputation, if anything.
No, I'm just not a big fan of seeing big fights like this end in draws. You know what I'm saying?
I know, with Triple G and Canelo, too.
Triple G and Canelo. We saw
the three of us, and I think we can all agree that Triple G won.
Absolutely, 100% Triple G won.
I think Triple G won. I thought towards the end, Canelo made a mad push.
Just like Tyson Fury, or excuse me, just like Deontay Wilder.
They're just like in the same. It's in the same position as it was in this one. If anything,
Canelo Alvarez is the hard puncher, but Canelo Alvarez got his revenge and beat him.
Yeah, he did. So
that's why I think
they're both even.
Exactly, and that's why if Deontay Wilder goes in and beats Tyson Fury, everyone forgets that Tyson Fury was able to grab a couple punches and come back from this amazing comeback. And you know what I'm saying? Because let's say that big knockdown happens in the 7th round. Fury ain't winning that fight because if he gets hit one more time, he's done.
He's done.
You know what I'm saying? Unless there literally is divine intervention with this guy.
Protect that chin of yours, man.
He did a good enough job and almost screwed up in the last round. And Deontay Wilder, I'll give him credit because he stuck with his game plan. You know, if I'm going to go in and try to knock the guy the hell out the whole fight, I'm going to go the whole fight and try to knock the guy out.
Yeah,
and he win the 12th round. And like I said, he drawed.
But you can't make an adjustment? You can't find a way?
He did, though. He knocked him down.
Yeah, he did at the very end, but if he would have done more in those earlier rounds,
True. Yeah.
he would have softened up Tyson Fury to where he would have been knocked the hell out for 20 seconds. So, I mean, you know what I'm saying?
But never would have got up.
Yeah.
He'd
put to sleep,
killing
man.
on live television.
Damn.
So, you know, I just don't think Deontay Wilder is a complete boxer. And if you want to be a complete boxer, you've got to be able to adjust. If there's a situation going on where it's like, hey, this guy's clearly outsmarting me and outthinking me, okay, my knockout punches aren't connecting. I actually got 12 rounds. It's the second and third and fourth round. You still got 4 or 5 rounds to soften this dude up. Try something else. More jabs to the body. Get it up against the ropes. Tire him out. It seems like the other way. It seems like Tyson Fury was the thinking man's boxer in this matchup, and it benefited him. At the end, the boxing gods were smiling.
Yeah. The boxing gods.
Muhammad Ali and everybody else.
Yeah, we obviously talk. Yeah, basketball gods, ball don't lie, right? Baseball guys hit to the ground ball after an error happens, something like that. Boxing god said, Fury, you won this fight. You're not getting knocked out in the 12th round, idiot. All right, get the hell back up. All right, so, you know, that it kind of makes sense in that way that there was no way Fury was going to get knocked out in the 12th round. But how good and smart he fought that fight. Whatever we want to say, divine intervention, whatever, he ended up getting up and saving his own fight because he would have lost. You get knocked out, you lose.
And by the way, wasn't it amazing that a guy, and I think the announcer pointed this out, Nick, wasn't it amazing that Tyson Fury is I wouldn't call him fat, I would just call him robust.
Well, he used to be fat, for sure.
Yeah, he lost a lot of weight.
He's obviously much more bigger than Wilder.
Yeah.
He had way more stamina than Wilder.
Well,
he was barely even
But
sweating.
he's not throwing these bombs. The reason Wilder is getting tired is because he's just throwing bomb after. That tires anybody.
Yeah.
If Fury would have done the same thing, Fury would 100% lost the fight, but that's not his
Throwing
thing.
more
And
of
he
your-
is less in shape.
Using more power into your punches will tire you out. That's for sure.
Fury, I just think, the guy went from being a coke and alcohol addict to being the heavyweight champion again. I mean, because if he wins that fight, which he did, he's the heavyweight champion. So the guy obviously is a little more strong-minded than I think Deontay Wilder. Not discrediting Deontay Wilder at all either. The guy became Olympic bronze medal winning boxer in a year.
Speaking of
in
bronze,
1 year.
Speaking of bronze, let's talk about that entrance that he did.
Yeah, it's funny. I couldn't hear it that well, but it was pretty good. I like Deontay Wilder kind of puts on a show in his entrance, and
his mask,
the real
like
heavyweight champion coming out.
Shredder from the Ninja Turtles.
Exactly. Yeah, and he had the guy that sings the song from Madden.
Yeah,
sang his.
Hey, man.
And by the way, shout out to the
Love
boxing for letting their guys actually have entrances, unlike the UFC. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Thank God.
Yeah, let them wear whatever they want. Come on, UFC, get back into that. Stop being so legal with everything.
Boxing is trying to get his reputation back up.
Yeah, no,
they got put up a good show.
It's a good way to do it. It's a good way to do it.
I agree with it.
This was the more this fight was actually looked forward to more than the second Canelo Triple G fight too.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Because with all the steroid allegations, this two damn boxers. What the hell is going to happen with the Triple G Canelo thing? You didn't even know if Canelo
it was more. Yeah, there was more of
Yeah.
a legal issue with that. This one, it was more of a clean way to go.
We're just
out
trying to
with it.
figure out who's the better boxer.
Yeah,
better
exactly.
boxer.
You know?
Yeah.
And yes, expect a lot of trash talk on this one. So that's how it is. That's how it is in
Well,
competition.
you know, the next one you have Fury is going to be like, I won the fight.
Yeah.
You know, all you are is a one punch guy, and Wilder, you know, he'll fight again with it. They will either fight in May, or late spring, or early summer. Again, or
Hopefully sooner.
one of these guys will fight Anthony Joshua. That's the next boxing match that has to happen. I know Fury and Wilder will fight again.
They gotta fight. They gotta fight next, though.
Yeah.
You gotta capitalize on it right now because.
But then you're letting Anthony Joshua still just scurry away and not do anything though.
Okay, well, we don't have a decisive winner of this fight. Let's get a decisive winner of this fight
Good
first.
fight.
Okay, so
Both these guys
let's-
beating Anthony Joshua.
just to make sure that Anthony Joshua has no place else to run, have the fight in April or May, the summer, and then later on we can have Wilder and Fury in December.
So you're okay. Or you could do what
Again?
RKJ
A
Man's
year?
saying. No.
Give plenty of rest, if anything.
That's true.
Yeah.
I don't think Deontay Wilder needs that much rest. He didn't get hit that much. I mean,
Right.
Wilder probably could come back in 2 months and fight again. Fury,
much.
yeah, I don't know. We don't know where his head's at after
Right.
that. You get hit that hard twice on 2 punch combination. There's no way he's not concussed a little bit. But he was able to get up.
Yeah.
I
That's all
mean,
that
we saw his interview on Good Morning Britain. He sounded just fine to me, but we saw his head, and it didn't look fine.
Hey,
Right.
Becky Lynch sounded fine too, but she had a concussion. So it's
Yeah.
not, it's not the whole thing.
It's a different world.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the heavyweights do. But I'm interested again in heavyweight boxing.
Oh, yeah,
And we
definitely.
have 3 guys here who are top contenders, and nobody really knows who's the heavyweight champion. And one guy's scared, and the 2 other guys drawed. So, this ain't.
One's being a beta male.
Yeah, exactly. So
Eric, I believe you mean beta male bitch.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And he's going to end up on your Ryan Rance next, I'm pretty sure.
I got someone today who's going to be on Ryan Rants who wants to call people entitled infants, and I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate anybody calling me an entitled infant. But we're going to save that for later.
No, we're gonna save that for later.
Yeah, save that steam later on.
All right, so we'll move on here because we don't really have much to say more about this fight. It was fantastic. It was good, and we'll be excited to see the next one.
The next one, yeah, definitely.
Let's do Nick's random segment of the day, and
drink
we're
my
gonna stick with the
chocolate
boxing vibe on this one. But not the type of boxing you guys would pay for. This is the type of boxing you see on World Star or YouTube or
boy.
Vine. I'm gonna give Nick's random segment to the RKJ man to tell a little story of his that he saw the other day involving 2 boxers. Go on.
Wow.
Amateur boxers.
Okay, I want to hear more from this.
Extremely amateur boxers. Let's stress this. RKJ man, explain.
I have to be careful because I know I have a few people from work who listen to this, so I don't want to say anything that could get me fired. But the other day, earlier in the week, I was at work and doing my normal stuff, expediting and checking on the fries, make sure everything is good. Yeah. And I see a cook say, "Hey," and I'm just like, what's going on? Mm-hmm. I turn around and these 2 dudes are knocking each other. They are jugging each other.
It wasn't Tyson Fury and Wilder, right?
It was more entertaining than Fury versus Wilder, in my opinion, because they were going for knockouts.
I want you to give as many details. What did you see? What was the type? Were they throwing punches? Were they trying to choke each other? Were they hitting each other?
They were
with
trying to
weapons?
do both. They were trying to fight.
But give details.
They were fighting. They were fighting each other. Okay, they were fighting each other, and then customers started getting involved. Like, the customers started trying to, separate both of them. But these dudes weren't letting off of each other. They had a strong grip on each other. Like, they took each other. They were like it was getting ready to get something
It's basically
serious.
high school fights that I
It
would
was
see.
a high school fight. It was. I have to say, it was a
Okay,
good-ass
I
fight.
see.
Okay, I gotta admit, it was a good-ass fight.
You encouraging that?
I know.
Damn.
I didn't encourage anything because it was at my job. I was freaking out. But the other manager went and ran. He ran to try to stop it. I was just like, we're gonna call this guy, for the sake of this podcast,
Leo Rush. Just kidding.
we're gonna call him Leo. Okay.
Okay.
So Leo, not to be confused with my dog, Leo runs to stop the fight. Okay. And I'm like, Leo, get back. Because I don't want him to get knocked the hell out.
Yeah.
Because if he gets knocked the hell out, then I gotta run a shift by myself now. So it's like, oh God. And then he's trying to do everything. He's trying so hard to stop the fight. He's literally doing everything I can. Everybody's stopping the fight, and these dudes are still going at each other. Ketchup is being tossed everywhere.
Man, that's crazy, bro.
Tossed
Ketchup, man.
everywhere.
Crazy.
Food's getting tossed everywhere.
Food being tossed. Coke being flying all over the place.
Coke, everybody.
I see you, Eric. Eric, I see you. I see you over there.
It's going crazy. It's Fight Club up in there. And so
You're not
he
supposed to
turns.
talk about Fight Club,
So
dude.
one thing. So the guy turns around and says, "Ryan, call the cops." So you got to understand how serious this has gotten. I'm a black guy running to the office to
call the cops.
to call the cops on a fight. Nobody can stop the
The
fight.
irony.
And
Wow.
So I called the cops, and literally, by the time I've called the cops and walked out, the dudes are running after each other. They're out of the store, and it's complete
mayhem.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It's mayhem. Like everybody is like freaking like there's food everywhere. Like there's water. There's drink on the ground.
Yeah.
There's like
it's like a tornado.
It's a tornado. It's a food tornado up in that mother. And like everybody's just sitting up there like, how did this happen? So I didn't get a chance to get the video because I was not allowed to get the video, and I really don't want to. I don't want to get in trouble. But all I can say is this: it was over some stupid shit. Okay. Somebody, I guess one of the customers, I guess, like came at him, confronted him, then he flipped over his tray.
Well, why'd the competition happen in the first place?
I don't understand why the confrontation happened. All I know is I saw it, and the guy, by the time the video was taken, they were confronting each other. They were literally confronting each other. Flipped everything. Wow. He flipped everything, and the punches started getting thrown. So I was like, oh my goodness. So the other manager wouldn't let me have the video, and I don't want to have the video necessarily because I don't want to do anything that could get me in trouble with my job. I haven't listed names. I haven't said anything. Nobody knows where I'm working at. All I'm going to say is this. Whatever day that was, it was fight night. It was fight night. I literally walked by one of our cooks, one of the cooks who... one of our cooks, and I told him I literally was singing the Migos Fight Night song. I was like, hit him to the left, hit him to the right. I'm going to knock him out like Fight Night. I was like, good Lord. It was crazy, man. I don't know what happened. I was freaking out. I was calling my GM. I was like, dude, like, it happened to fight. Do I need to fill out an incident report form and everything? I was like freaking out. I was like, what's going on here? It's like, why is everybody fighting each other in a store with a whole bunch of people around it? Thank God, a couple of things. Number one, there were people around, a lot of male customers to fight, witnesses who could stop the fight. Because if this would have happened when there was only like 2-3 people, that would have been bad. And number two, I'm glad that there was 2 managers on duty during that time. Because had it been just one manager or me, I'm not stopping that.
Yeah. I'm not
trying to get. I got glasses. Somebody knocked my glasses out. I can't see.
So hit him right in the bridge of his nose.
I can't see, man. So it was like, I'm not stopping that, man. Y'all can destroy the store, but I'm calling the police.
Gonna teach you how to fight, Rocky J, man.
Nah, man. I don't need to know. I'm a lover, not a fighter. So it's like
me and Nick are gonna teach you one thing or two about fighting.
Absolutely.
I don't know, man.
I'll teach you how to lose a fight. That's what I'll teach you.
Nick's tall, so
I'm tall. I look more intimidating than I really am.
He's an easy target. All I know is this, man. Like when that thing happened at my job, I couldn't stop talking about it for like the whole day. I talked about it for the whole day. I would be the
same thing too, man.
The other manager came in. He was like, "What happened?" And shout out to the other manager who actually listens to the shows. That's why I want to make sure I'm good about this. But he was like, "What happened?" He's like, "What's been going on today?" And I've been like, "Well, you missed a great fight." I was like, "You missed the fight." Like, I was just like, "Good Lord, what is going on?" I don't know if it's the holiday season. I don't know if people aren't getting enough vagina. I don't know what's going on. But like,
both.
But like,
that's exactly both.
I need everybody to stay away from my job. Why does stuff keep happening in my job? Like, I get my car caught on fire. People are fighting at my job. It's just like, what is going on?
But you ain't living in the hood, aren't you?
I'm not. Trust me, the area I'm at is far from the hood. It's far from the hood, which is why I don't understand why we got people
Maybe the
boxing
hood followed you, man.
other.
Maybe the hood followed you or something like
that. The hood followed them over from North Carolina.
Yeah. The hood did follow me.
Maybe that place is cursed. I don't know.
It's very interesting.
I hope it's not cursed.
Very interesting. Alec, me and a friend actually came by your work once, and there was an accident that happened right after we got.
Oh, it's cursed.
There is a curse on that. Yeah.
Like, is it like
there was like an accident that happened like right when, and all these people started looking and stuff like this, and we were going through the drive-thru, like, what's going on? And we drove over.
Wow.
And we saw it, and it happened like right after we were right there too. Like, could have been us.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
we were like, we need to get the damn milkshakes, man. We got.
You can get this 20% discount.
But there's definitely you start thinking back and stuff. You're like, yeah, I remember when that guy got killed outside the store and all this. No, I'm just kidding.
Nobody get killed outside the store.
But you think of that stuff like all this,
Yeah.
But so I wanted to tell a story. I wanted you to tell a story. I actually hadn't heard all the whole story.
I just don't want to get fired because I don't want to. That's why I didn't get the footage. He was like, because I wanted the footage at first, and he was like, "What are you gonna use?" He was like, "That thing gets on my wall, I'll get fired." You
should have just been like, "I'm sending it to my friends."
And then I would have gotten in trouble.
On my podcast on YouTube,
and then I would have gotten in trouble. See, that's why. Because last time with the whole car situation, you posted that thing up on YouTube. So I was like, I'm not gonna get fired.
Send it to World Star.
And plus the police have it. Everything's good. I gotta keep my job. Everything's good. But that was a good fight. I straight up said it. I was like, man, that was a fight.
Would you want another? Would
I
you
was
want?
entertained.
Okay, but who won though? Who won?
Nobody won. It was a draw.
We
but
got
it
two
was,
draws.
but
Two
it-
draws,
we
damn
got
it.
two draws.
Come on, man.
But it was
Hey, stay tuned for the next fight in
yeah.
his place.
it was much better though. It was a much more
Eric, when's a
entertaining
fight happen in your work? Come on.
I don't know.
I've seen fights happen where I work. I'm not working there right
All-
now.
all-
but
But that's what drunk
I've
people.
seen tons
There ain't
of
no
people-
alcohol
Yeah.
served
Yeah.
at where I work at.
Although
Ain't
there's
no alcohol.
although there's one worker of mine who was kind of fed up with this other worker because
Oh,
of
here we go. See,
working,
he's setting it up.
working
You
kind of slow, and he told me in Spanish that like, oh yeah, one day I'm gonna kick his ass. You know, it's just
That's
like,
what everybody says.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody says that at work.
But we said this in Spanish. I'm not gonna
Everybody
throw out
tries,
his name.
everybody tries to say be the alpha
No, don't
male.
call anybody out right now. But
I'm not calling anyone out. I'm not saying where I work
Eric,
at.
See, Eric, this
but-
is the type of people though. You need to have your phone ready
But-
around them, right?
I know.
But the first thing
And
I
I-
thought after this fight happened was, I'm gonna have to talk about this on the podcast.
Yeah,
I'm
and
like, this
I
is
told my
content.
coworker. I told my coworker that don't worry, I'll come prepared.
Yeah.
You know, that la madre.
Bring him his
Eric-
gloves. Bring him the gloves.
What?
Show him how to
for, a
kick.
second there, for a second there, I thought Eric's trying to bring guns. I'm like, you
Oh
trying
no,
to bring
no,
guns?
no,
over
no,
here?
hell no, man, no, nah.
Hey, whatever's gotta have whatever. You know, like I said, we're Crips in this
Yeah.
this
Whoa,
hood, but-
no, we're not.
So
See, Nick, you don't even know what you be saying. You be saying
bro,
some
I'm wearing
blasphemous
blue
nonsense.
jeans and a jacket. That
All right,
has
next
a
time we go
cargo.
down to LA and
I'm
I'm
wearing
repping
a
black.
I got a red logo
I'm
and
repping
blue.
black.
Yeah, see,
Got
you
red.
guys are smart.
there ain't nothing
Yeah.
on me that's anything
I'm
gang
represented
related.
both. There's Bloods and Crips right here on our little studio thing right here.
All right, Nick, you
Got
gonna
a
get
rivalry.
shot.
I got
get
a
shot.
I got a
You
purple.
gonna end up
Hey,
like
yo,
you gonna be
yo,
the white Tupac.
We're gonna
You gonna be the white Tupac over here.
we're gonna end up in gangland. Just watch.
I know.
Yeah.
We just don't need to be going Boyle Heights. You know, whenever we go to Lucha Underground, that's what we got to watch out.
No, don't worry. You guys will protect by me.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh,
That's,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
You
I
Eric's
guys need
forgot.
me.
Yeah.
You guys need
If we
me
go to a
for that.
wrestling match in Santa Ana, that we're okay because that's Eric's hood.
Yeah.
That
so
is his hood.
as long as you're
I
with
just want
me,
that.
you're good.
I just want that burrito
If
place.
you guys want to come to the suburbs, Mission Viejo, all these other places, I'll keep you safe.
Don't give me like
Okay.
mad looks for some reason.
I get mad looks every time.
Yeah.
But point of the story is this.
I don't.
Okay.
But
Point of the story is this.
wonder
Don't be
why.
fight. Don't
that's
be
my white
fighting.
privilege.
If y'all gonna fight, don't fight it where I work at, please.
Yes.
Okay? Because
I'm
then
gonna start
it
a fight.
causes pandemonium.
I'm gonna start a fight. Everybody, you and me, Nick, we're gonna start a fight in his
Well,
place.
this ain't where I work.
in his place,
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. We gotta set it up though. We'll imitate Fury and Wilder. He
This
can knock
has
me the hell out.
nothing-
I'll fall.
Or we can have our own backyard wrestling promotion.
Yeah.
Right in
Okay,
Nick's
let's
yard.
think about
Speaking
this.
of backyard wrestling, I think it's time for Eric's indie update.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Eric's
fine.
update.
All right, so we actually got some good news this time, unlike last time, because it did creep me out for a little bit.
That was good news to me. It was
yeah.
funny.
You tarnished his, you tarnished his
Ruined
name,
the whole
dude.
segment.
It was entertaining. Oh, by the way, I've got something on that too.
Okay.
I want to ask you about Eric.
Okay, so Nick Aldis defeated a wrestler by the name of Jack Hager over at the WrestleCade a couple days ago. Jack Hager, want to know who he is? The All-American
I knew
Jack
it. I knew you were going to say that. I
Oh,
thought
yeah.
he was doing MMA though.
He is. I'm actually going to get to that right
okay,
now.
There you go. See, I gave it away.
Because
my bad.
See,
he
let
will
him
be
say his segment.
because he will be fighting this January 26th at the Forum against a fighter by the name of Kaiser for Bellator MMA.
Well, that's pretty impressive.
So
actually.
stay tuned for that one.
That actually sounds like something I might want to watch.
Oh yeah,
Bellator's on Spike too. You can tape
it is. Yeah,
Well, not Spike.
Paramount Network.
Paramount. Yeah, because they show movies now. So basically, yes, Aldis defeated Jack Hager at the WrestleCade pay-per-view. Well, not much of a pay-per-view, but it was more of an event, wrestling event that they had. Billy Corgan announced NWA first ever pop-up event. They will be teaming up with another pro wrestling organization called Tried and True Pro Wrestling. It's going to be in January 5th. They're going to be kicking off the new year. The event is called New Year's Clash and will feature the NWA Women's National title and the NWA title, and they will be all on the line. Also, they will be featuring the first ever qualifying Crockett Cup Tag Team Tournament. So they're going to be having an NWA Tag Team Tournament, so stay tuned for that. Billy Corgan is yet to announce the wrestlers who are going to be fighting for that event. Over also at this event called Bar Wrestling, I would say this is more of a happy, ending to this one. Yes, Wednesday night at this wrestling show, Brian Cage proposed to Melissa Santos in the middle of the ring.
You know, that's weird because I thought they were married.
I
Well, they
actually
had
they were
they had a kid, and then this one, Brian Cage proposed to Melissa Santos, and you know what the answer was? Yes.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say no. I was going to
That would, I'd be like, this has to be a wrestling story.
Eric's cousin, Melissa Santos.
Oh, yeah?
Unconfirmed cousin?
Unconfirmed?
Unconfirmed cousin.
If you want to confirm it, Melissa, come on the Ring Generals.
Confirm it. All
Yes.
right, we'll see if we actually
What if she actually was, though? And you just did
She's actually from Nicaragua. Yeah.
Oh, she's probably not related then.
Yeah, Nicaragua.
Do you have any Nicaraguan in you?
I don't know. I don't think so.
We all got. You know what we got to do
Maybe
for the
Spanish.
podcast? One of these times we got to do that 23andMe thing.
What?
And let's all see. Let's see how white. I want to see
Like
how white the RKJ man is.
Yeah, I have some
We can
white
talk
in me,
shit.
actually.
Yeah,
Do you?
probably do.
I
Probably
could
some
tell.
European
But
blood
that's
in
what
there.
Nick gave me the look. They gave me that
Yeah.
look like I could tell.
And
He gave me that look like I could tell.
so before the dream match of the day, did you want me to ask me something, RKJ man?
Yes, I recently read an article on James Ellsworth, our good friend.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
And Nick
Not
knows what I'm about to say. It states that apparently, allegedly, I'm going to use the words allegedly very much in this because it has not been confirmed, and I don't want to get sued or us to get sued. But
Okay.
James Ellsworth put out sent someone to try to go destroy that young woman's phone, to try to go destroy that woman's phone.
Like a bounty? Like put a bounty
A
on
hit.
Exactly.
A
Eric.
hit out.
Eric, that's
Not-
exactly.
not
It's
like a
as
hit out
stupid
on
as
her.
it sounds. That's exactly.
Not
what
a
he
hit
did.
on her to kill her, but he
I
put
know,
a hit
but-
out to get her phone destroyed so it can eliminate any incriminating evidence against him. Do you think, Eric, that James Ellsworth did this? This is all allegedly, okay? But in your opinion, do you think James Ellsworth would do that?
Sounds crazy. Sounds like something out of a movie, but I really don't know. I don't. If the guy is really that desperate, I think so.
I think if you're desperate enough to send something to 16-year-old girls, you could be desperate enough to send something to get yourself innocent. Now,
That's just being.
this website that's reporting this, it seems kind of sketchy. I've heard some things from this website, and I don't necessarily believe it all the time. But to have this story just randomly come out like this, it's a little bit too interesting.
That's very
Something's
sketchy.
not right. Something's not right with this. Either it's not right with the news source or it's not right for James Ellsworth. Probably could be both. But I just don't think necessarily James Ellsworth. There's a lot of things that's happening in this whole conversation that is not being told. What do you think, Nick?
I mean, I absolutely believe he did it. I mean, he's a little snake. Doesn't he? A little snake in the grass, right? Like, he just seems like a guy that's trying to cover up for himself. I like that analogy you just said, where if he's desperate enough that he's got to send his dick to like a 14-year-old girl, he probably. Okay. Yeah.
We gotta be
My
careful.
bad.
We gotta make sure that we give the correct facts here, because nothing has been proven in the court of law. These are all just alleged, like people accusing
If I
each
say
other.
anything that's wrong, I'm saying it. I'm talking about this as it all is rumors and alleged. So I'm not saying anything.
And
this
things
is
could
for
come
sure.
out after we
But
do the
just
podcast.
so I don't have to keep saying allegedly and rumors, everything I'm talking about is a rumor or alleged. So I'll just throw that out there. But I think he did it because I think he already was kind of a weirdo. I mean, that's the character he played, and the this girl. Why make this stuff up? She seemed very young in these videos she was talking about. She even seemed younger than a 16-year-old would even normally act. So she seemed innocent. Now you never know; people could be actors, all that stuff. But I think the rumors are starting to compile a little too much, like our friend Bill Cosby, that it's starting to become a little more real than we think.
What's that saying, Nick? Where there's smoke, there's fire.
Exactly. Yes.
I mean,
and we know fires here in Southern California.
It's
so.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's sketchy. You know what I'm saying? It's a situation where if enough evidence just builds and builds and builds, it gets to the point where it's like, bro, I want to give you the innocent until proven guilty thing. You know, like you know what I'm saying? But you don't have it.
Exactly.
And I talked about it in you know, Me Too rules. You know, with my situation at my former workplace, you know, I had enough, you know, there was nothing against me. There was nothing against me that could prove it. Whereas this person has a lot, whereas James Ellsworth, right now, according to the rumors and the alleged information that we're just gaining from, there's a lot of things that are proving that he did this. You know, now apparently he might get away with it because in the state that he sent it to, the girl where the girl lives, the age of consent is 16 years old.
What is it? What's the state is this?
I forgot what state it is, man. Look it up, bro. But
It's probably the South, probably.
it's not in the South.
It's got to
actually.
be in the South. It has to be in the South.
I think it's
Only
up
the
in,
South make a rule like that.
Dude,
you
look
know
it up
this.
right now.
You know this too. You
Well,
know
you can
how
marry.
the South
Well,
is.
North Carolina, you can marry cousins. I think cousins can still get married in North Carolina, which is
man.
just insane.
Wow.
But
Wow.
I don't know, man. Like Eric, like he was making such a good name for himself in the independent scene, doing his thing, you know.
He was competing for the
but
world.
that was his
Yeah,
gimmick. His
yeah.
gimmick was like this creepy, weird dude.
Misogynist guy, yeah.
Yeah, and like who girls did want to get with. But we found out that he had his own daughter, that he had a daughter. So clearly he got with a woman.
Yeah.
He was with a woman, but it just makes me wonder all this time. You know, Carmella apparently was talking to him, you know, as friends and whatnot. I'm just going out there on a limb and I'm saying, is Carmella talking to him now? Probably not.
Oh, probably
No, of
not.
course not.
You know what I'm
at all.
saying? It's just a situation where it's just like
Not
I
even,
hate it.
Not even the ones he
No,
worked
Nick,
with.
you gotta look up. You gotta look up like
Not even the
age.
ones who he worked with, like AJ Styles or Dean Ambrose. I don't think so.
Alabama is 16. There's actually a lot. There's a lot of them that are 16.
There's
so
a lot of
yeah.
them that's 16.
Yeah.
But
Oh my
that's so
God.
sketchy.
Arkansas.
If you're a 30-something-year-old man and you're asking girls allegedly at your freaking wrestling event, hey, well, how old are you? Like that's really weird.
Well,
you know?
no, I mean, but you know,
There's-
if a girl comes up to you and you think she's young, you're gonna ask her what her age is to
No.
make sure.
So Nick, there are certain ways you can go
Especially
about,
when you're in college and high school.
my friend, there are certain ways you can go around like asking girls certain things to get information without actually asking the question. For example, if you're talking to a girl, okay, and you're not sure if she's in high school or in college, you ask a question like, yeah, if you're in college and you're a guy, like, yeah, I go to college.
Why can't you just ask her how old she is?
No, because
can't
it
you
looks
ask her how old
creepy.
she
It
is?
looks creepy.
No,
No,
you're
here's
asking,
how, hold on,
and
let
then
me
if they
finish.
say 16, you go, all right, F you.
Let me finish though.
That's what I do.
Let me finish before you say.
Not
let me
now.
finish.
No, I'm older now. I don't do that
Let
stuff.
me-
But
let me-
when I was in high school and early in college, I would ask people that because I'm not trying to get in trouble.
Let me say this. This is how you ask. And this is what is gonna give it away. Okay? You say something along the lines of, yeah, I'm in college, you know, I'm in like sophomore year, man, and work is getting crazy, man. How's college going for you? And if she says, oh, I'm actually in high school, you got your answer right there.
Why can't you just ask him, are you 18?
Because you don't want to be a James Ellsworth and be creepy.
But if you don't actually do anything, there's nothing wrong with
If
asking.
you straight up
questions.
ask a girl, are you 18?
Because you're
you know
trying
how
to wonder
creepy
if you can
sound, man?
actually have sex with them, bro. That's why you're asking. You're asking if it's okay.
It's about the age. I get it. It's about the age of consent, but it's
I'm not
also
saying,
about.
I'm saying if I hear the younger age, it's I don't see you anymore.
See, the problem with James Ellsworth. The problem with James
37.
Ellsworth.
Yeah.
Is he's 30 something.
We're younger. Like
You
we're all
can't-
younger here. We're
you
not.
Can't
yeah,
go
exactly.
around. You can't go around asking girls what their age are. And honestly, at our age, we can't go around asking girls either because in the social media age, it is so easy for a guy to be construed as a creepy dude. It is so easy for a guy to be considered like a jackass. So you've got to be smart and you've got to play the game with some of these girls. And you got to ask some questions that can lead to what you want
I
to
don't
get.
agree with that. I think you could just ask him straight up. I think leading around it and asking more questions would seem more creepy than just be like, "Hey,
No.
are you 18?"
No, but like you don't ask like 20 questions to try to get their age, but you don't also ask straight up, "Hey, look, are you 18?" You say something along the lines that give them their obvious age, and then you pay attention too. That's another thing that I was upset with James Ellsworth. If you see a girl, you pay attention, you see her, and she looks like she's their mom, you know, that should give a hint to you, like, no, nah, that's not gonna work out. You
Wait,
know
what
what
was
I'm
it?
saying?
Wait, what'd you say about the mom?
If you see her with her mom, whatnot, and she's
Well,
like,
clearly,
yeah,
yeah,
like
I
you
mean,
know,
of course.
that's like.
Hey, I went to the local high school. I saw this girl with her mom. How old are you, by the way?
And that's creepy. That's creepy. The point blank is this. You got to be careful out here. And James Ellsworth was not careful. He was not
Not at
smart.
all.
No,
and
of course not.
I know this now, and I am so smart now with how I deal with these girls, and so smart with how I understand these girls now that I know and I can pick up a vibe instantly. And when a girl is lying or when she's being weirded out. And guess what? James Ellsworth could not pick up both, which is why he's in this position. He's got to learn better, and honestly, our society has got to learn better.
It's kind of weird how everything took a turn for that.
I know.
For the indie segment.
Sorry.
No worries.
I was gonna say the stuff about Bellator and UFC 233.
Well, I didn't even get to the dream match.
I know. No, okay, go ahead. We do need to start going. We kind of went over on that segment though. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure you guys are aware of the passing of Dynamite Kid, right? Am I right?
Yes.
I heard today. I did not hear about that one, but I heard that Kurt Henning's dad. died.
His
today.
dad.
Yes,
Kurt
rest
Hennig,
in
Mr.
peace.
Perfect, and Curtis Axel's, great, and his grandfather. Rest in peace. So I was thinking about Dynamite Kid, the kind of wrestling that he basically carried on to the pro wrestling industry. Really, a lot of people emulated him. Guys like Bret Hart, Chris Jericho, Lance Storm, and dare I say Chris Benoit. A lot of many others out there. I would like to see maybe a match with Dynamite Kid with two wrestlers that I think are probably good candidates. One, former Ring of Honor champion and former TNA Tag Team champion, Davey Richards, because he's one of those guys who reminds me of a younger version of Dynamite Kid, if anything, and also Davey Richards looked up to Dynamite Kid, or Dynamite Kid versus Daniel Bryan.
Dynamite Kid versus Daniel Bryan, the American Dragon, Daniel Bryan.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, it's a good fight.
It's a good fight.
You got one? I gotta think now because you gotta be screwed up on this James Ellsworth stuff.
What?
James Ellsworth versus Carmella.
Versus Bill Cosby. Then it's
Bill Cosby versus James Ellsworth. Let that be
Bill
my
Cosby
dream
got
match.
Tekashi 6ix9ine versus Enzo Amore.
What a dumb idiot Tekashi 6ix9ine is. But Nick, what is your dream segment, my friend?
Well, I'll have to come up with it in my head real short, so I apologize for not doing my proper research on a dream match. But we were talking about the Undertaker earlier, right? And I think, I'm coming up with this straight. This is complete BS, by the way. If you guys are wondering, I'm just thinking of a match straight in my head. Right? Can you go? I have no match in my head. What? Put me on blast right now.
Just not say you don't have one.
Okay, I don't have one.
Okay, you don't have one.
I don't have
just don't have
Wait,
one.
we talking about
my dream match was Ellsworth versus Cosby.
What are you talking about? How about a triple threat between Ellsworth, Cosby, and Tekashi 6ix9ine?
Yeah.
Tekashi 6ix9ine brings all his guns and shoots everybody.
What kind of match is it?
It's
lumberjack match with all bouncers on the outside.
But yeah, let's talk about the XFL, Nick.
Yes, talk about the XFL.
Let's talk about the XFL because I did not expect 8 cities to be announced, but I did not expect some of these cities that was announced. It seems like it's a combination of big cities that have an association with the WWE, so therefore you can have an association with the XFL, and then or stadiums there of that matter, or also smaller stadiums in smaller cities. You've got what? You've got Raymond James Stadium, seats about 65,000 people. We've had multiple Super Bowls there, right? You have MetLife Stadium. We've already had 1 or 2 Super Bowls there, I'm thinking. I think 1 at least. You've got St. Louis, Missouri, right? You've got the Dome where the Rams used to play. That's definitely been a Super Bowl. So you've got 3 Super Bowl locations here. What do you guys think about this? Do you think the XFL is going to have Century League Field? I forgot about that in Seattle, Washington. That was the biggest one to me. That was the one where I really scratched my head.
What about the one in StubHub? I think StubHub Arena?
StubHub has it.
Yeah, but that only has 27,000 people.
Yeah, that was weird. Because
that makes a lot more sense. Doesn't make sense for the NFL. Doesn't make more sense for the XFL. Yeah, if you look at the rest of the stadiums, you have it looks like 3 MLS stadiums in this, and then the Texas Rangers baseball park, which they're not going to be playing it anymore. They're building a new one. So Globe Life Park, they're going to transition it into like a football stadium, I guess. And then the rest are NFL stadiums. So it's 4 and 4, and it's not like they gave LA, New York, Dallas, and Washington D.C. the big stadiums. It's like Seattle, St. Louis, New York, and then what was the last one? Tampa Bay. So it doesn't make a lot of sense that it's very interesting. One thing that grabbed my thing was I was just looking at this. The commissioner was announced earlier this year. The commissioner of the XFL is Oliver Luck. He used to be the athletic director at West Virginia, and more importantly, he's Andrew Luck's dad. Andrew Luck's dad is the commissioner of the XFL.
I know what you're trying to say. If Andrew
Well,
Luck,
no, I'm not saying that. I'm not even saying that. I'm just
Okay.
giving you who it is. I'm telling you there's some credibility with these people running the league. And then the senior vice president of football operations is Doug Whaley, who used to be the general manager of the Buffalo Bills. So there's some credible people getting behind the XFL too.
which we didn't see in the first time.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is going to be a little different. I think this is going to be just more of a different type of football league. The league is also. It was announced this weekend that it's starting the weekend after the Super Bowl too.
When people are craving football.
Yeah, it's smart.
Wow.
So Vince is being a little smart with this. And let me just go over it again. Here are the franchises. You have a franchise in Dallas, Houston, Los Angeles, New York, St. Louis, Seattle, Tampa Bay, and Washington, D.C. So yeah, there's some NFL markets, and then there's St. Louis, which doesn't have one, and the rest are NFLs. But so very interesting that they're going to be kind of competing in these markets somewhat with NFL teams.
And how did the NFL allow the XFL to schedule NFL stadiums?
Because it's not during they literally, I think they went through the loophole and said, well, the NFL season's over. We can do this.
But why can't Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, say, oh, there's the XFL, they have competition. Why can't he go to all of these major cities? New York.
Well, he doesn't own the stadiums.
And the Giants.
He doesn't own the stadiums.
That's a good point.
He does that. That's the old. I mean, if he owned the stadiums,
but why can't he go to him and be like, we've seen it before where there's been some collusion. We talk about the whole Colin Kaepernick situation where we think the owners all have collusion. Why can't the commissioner just go up to him and be like, if they come to you about wanting to run something in your stadium, don't accept it.
He could.
Competition.
He could, but I'm guessing Vince and this Alpha Entertainment thing probably threw money at them and goes, hey, whatever the NFL's giving you, we'll maybe give you a little bit more for the XFL.
You know, negotiation right there, man.
And let's also not forget Vince McMahon just sold more of his stock. So he's getting ready for this XFL thing. I think it's time for Vince McMahon to step down from this WWE, and I think he needs to put his concentration, this effort into making this work because he's clearly investing a crap ton of money into making sure that the XFL is not the disaster it was the first time around.
And then make Stephanie and Triple H in charge of WWE. Right.
Yeah, as long as we don't get BS that we get on Raw every
whatever will make Raw better or actually watchable. We'll do better. Yeah, it looks like $500 million. And this was earlier in the year. $500 million was been put in by Vince McMahon already.
And now he's put in more money, more money of his stock. So this is clearly serious.
He's all in.
He's all in. He's all in.
Yeah.
Speaking of more money, that situation with the Young Bucks and the Elite. But I just think that when it comes down to it, I think this situation is non and void if you do not have a network. And so now I have to look at the facts that the WWE just signed a major networking deal with Fox. Yeah. Do y'all think that this was strategic? I think this has to be strategic.
You think the XFL is going to Fox?
I think the XFL's got to go on Fox.
It's got to do it, right?
It's got to go on Fox.
No choice.
But
hey, I wonder if this whole $1 billion deal with SmackDown, if you think about it this way, and I don't know the way this business works because I'm not a business guy, but if they threw maybe more money than SmackDown deserved at them in anticipation for giving more money to Vince to put more into the XFL so that they could, you know what I'm saying? Because like we're talking about, during this time, because the Super Bowl is around early February.
It's always
there's no baseball on Fox. There's no basketball. They don't even do basketball, and there's no hockey on Fox. So what is on Fox?
Nothing.
They don't even have the UFC anymore.
And let's not
college basketball?
And let's not also forget that Fox sold.
There's nothing.
They sold a lot of their. They sold that Fox got bought out by Disney. So basically, meaning Fox Studios will now be owned by Disney in the coming year.
Well, I don't think Fox Sports was sold. Though,
no, it was
or
not.
Fox News.
But what's the issue is Fox will not have a lot of the programming. A lot of the programming that we see on Fox today will not be owned by Fox in the next year. It'll be owned by Disney. So Fox wants as many original things, original content, so they're not paying all these rights and fees. I talked to my teacher about it. I ran it by him because my teacher at the school I went to actually used to work in Disney, and he brought it up in class, and I went crazy when he talked about it in class because Fox is making an effort on football in the NFL and the Thursday Night Football package, obviously, and the WWE. They put $1 billion, that's NFL-like money, into wrestling, into one show. So, yes, Nick, I agree with you. It's a little sketchy that they gave $1 billion to SmackDown. So they have to. Vince McMahon had to have gotten a verbal agreement and said, "Hey, look, we're going to support this XFL thing, and if you can get WrestleMania on Fox, even better. But we need content, bro. We need content desperately. We just sold our stuff to Disney. We gave them a lot of the shows that we produce, that we house, and now they're going to be owned by Disney. So guess what? We need content, Vince. Not only do we want the WWE, we want XFL too. So SmackDown can promote the XFL. It makes perfect sense.
Smart.
No, it does. I mean,
NFL can't do anything about it because they're locked into a deal with Fox for a few years.
I would love if Vince beat the NFL. It'd be fantastic, right?
Right.
Yeah, because the NFL acts like they're almost a government in a way. I was talking about this on my other podcast, how, with the stuff with Kareem Hunt, if you don't know, Kareem Hunt is another one of these idiots that beat up women, got caught on video with it. But the NFL literally acts like they're a government, but they can't even find a simple video in a hotel. Like, come on. So I would love if Vince came in there and was like, I'm going to do this right, and I'm not going to let my players be idiots, and I'm going to take over, and the XFL is going to become more famous. And it probably, what I'm saying? It just, so I hope he does. And that was actually one of his things, whether you want to knock him or not. He said he wanted good characters in his league. And I think this was what he's talking about. He doesn't want Kareem Hunts, doesn't want Ray Rices, doesn't want Reuben Fosters. He wants different kind of guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
But will that make the league boring? Because some of the allure of the NFL is that we get to see those characters, my quarterback Cam Newton, and we get to see the villains and the heroes.
But nobody wants to cheer for a guy that beats up women.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's why people don't cheer for Floyd Mayweather. They might cheer for him because they have a bet on him, but they're not actually cheering for his personality. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And Cam Newton, don't put him in those things. I mean, Cam Newton might be promiscuous a little bit, but he's not beating up women.
I'm not saying Cam Newton. I'm saying the character. What I'm saying is, I'm saying the
you
different
can
type
still
of
have
personalities.
Cam Newton still,
saying the different type of personalities. If you can't have a cookie cutter league and expect to get ratings. We need people. I'm not saying Cam Newton is going out there beating women. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying Cam Newton is a different personality. He celebrates. It can be seen as showboating. He does too much. He's had issues with the media. So you need those types of situations in your league in order to entice people to want to watch the following week because either they love him for his actions or they hate him for his actions. You can't have a cookie cutter league. And that's what I hope Vince McMahon is not thinking, the XFL was, something crazy and outrageous the first time. Well, I'm going to try to go perfect and family value and all this stuff the second time. No, you need to have some things that's different from the NFL, or else it's just going to be another league that's very much similar to the NFL, and it's not going to get the ratings, There was so much buzz when this first came out. Everybody was talking about it, and now it's just buzzed down again, and we've had very little information. It's almost about to be 2019. We're a year left to go. You got to get the teams ready to go. You got to get the players ready to go. I don't know how they're going to do a draft, if they're going to do a draft, how they're going to get talent from the NFL. I would imagine there's a lot of NFL talent that they can poach, but they got to start as soon as possible because I think they're running out of time.
The NFL does, it's going to be interesting. You're right, like who they get, because obviously who in the NFL is going to just jump ship off their contract. It's going to got to be free agents. They got to get a big star. We've been talking about in the past on this podcast, John Cena or Daniel Bryan or CM Punk going to New Japan Wrestling.
Or you gotta have Elite Wrestling, possibly.
You got to have that's a good point. You got to have a big guy. And like you said before, I didn't see this before this, but Andrew Luck's dad is running the whole damn thing. So you get Andrew Luck over there. How about Aaron Rodgers? Aaron Rodgers doesn't even like his own coach. And his coach is fired.
What about if Bill Belichick is so frustrated with the Patriots that Vince McMahon comes to him and offers, like I said, $5 million.
They're friends. I think they're friends, too.
$5 million to be my head coach. $5 million to be a head coach in the league. And he takes that
I think
offer.
he probably gets paid more than that already. So you'd have to get, John Gruden's getting 10. It's got to be 10.
12.
Yeah.
$12 million.
No, the XFL has
now we're
to
doing an auction now.
They have to throw money at these guys and say this is a better opportunity. Right. Then once you get the league established, then you can kind of start lowering salaries and stuff like that.
And I think it's a 52-week paid salary league, meaning you're getting paid every week.
Is the NFL like that? The NFL's not like that.
I don't think the NFL's like that. You get paid during the season.
See, all the XFL has to do is just be better than the NFL. That's all.
You got to be more player friendly. That's what I think.
Yeah.
The NFL is not player friendly. It's owner. It's an oligarchy.
Yeah.
You know, like the XFL has got to be all about the players, taking care of our players, having personality on the field, providing something unique and different that the fans will love and crave, because that was the whole thing in the XFL. The XFL originally was said, oh, the NFL's a no fun league. And at the time, I didn't really think that. But now I think that with the tackle rule
the
and
XFL
everything.
needs to be the extremely fun league. That's what it needs to be.
Extremely.
It just needs to make sense. I just think I think this is going to be entertaining to watch, but the XFL's got competition. The guy who did the XFL 30 for 30, he started up his own league with somebody else, and his own football league, and it actually got approval by the NFL. And they were actually working with the NFL.
But I think they don't, because if you're working with it's like working with WWE. Some of these companies working with WWE, you ain't never gonna beat them. The only way to beat them is to compete them. Ask WCW. They just made some mistakes, but WCW could easily beat the WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Could have.
Came very close, months away.
The XFL. It's so funny. It's so ironic. It's a reversal of roles. Vince McMahon is now WCW trying to take down WWE, with the XFL trying to take down the NFL. So it's interesting.
And what's ironic is Vince McMahon may possibly go to Turner for programming.
It'd be hilarious. I would love to see that. And then he just goes, screw, I don't care.
The irony.
TNT, TBS.
The irony. All right, Brian. It's RKJ, man. Excuse me.
Messing up again.
Well, it's because of the name of the title I'm about to say. That's why. I think it's time for a little Ryan rants.
Man, I hate when people try to tell me what to think and what to do.
Hate is a strong word.
And I hate it. And I want it to be strong. Because the fact of the matter is this, Xavier Woods just called me and all the wrestling fans who complain about the product of the WWE entitled infants.
I thought he called you a beta male.
No, but I'm going to call Xavier Woods a beta male bitch. Because the fact of the matter is this, when you put on a product that absolutely stinks to the point where my dad has to look at me and say, this is low quality television, okay, I feel ashamed as a fan. Okay, so am I an entitled infant for asking for a product to be much better than what it actually already is? Am I an entitled infant for asking the New Day to not keep coming out and doing pancake porn all over my television? I mean, that's what I'm asking for. I'm asking for no pancakes. I'm asking for high quality television.
I love pancakes.
I love pancakes too, but I don't like pancake porn. Okay, and what I really appreciate now is high quality linear storytelling, because it works in either the WWE, okay, Eric? It works either the WWE, it works either the WWE or in your Netflix shows, your Hulu shows, your Amazon Prime, Fox, whatever, the Romans, whatever you want to watch, it works. And the WWE is treating us like he's calling us infants for just wanting to watch something that's high quality. Xavier Woods, what are you thinking, man? All you do is up, down, down. You up, down, down. Allegedly, well, according to the video.
We saw the video.
Not allegedly. You called me. You called me about that shit, okay? You called me about that.
I have seen him violate women before on camera. All right?
Let's just say we think we got the name up. He got the name up, down for something else. Okay, not from video games.
Porn. We're talking about porn. We're talking about
the fact of the matter is this, Xavier Woods, you ain't got room to talk, man. Just do your thing, bro. Do your thing with up, down, down. Do your thing with the New Day. Play your trombone. Be that cool character that nobody wants to see, but we're forced to see because the WWE puts it in front of us. And stop acting like you are the end-all, be-all. Like, you know everything about the New Day. Like, you know everything about wrestling because you are a wrestler. Because at the end of the day, guess what? I understand that you're putting your body on the line, but guess what? You would be nothing without us, the fans, paying for it. If I said right now, I'm sick and tired of the New Day stuff, I'm unsubscribing to the network, the New Day becomes a liability to the product. And that right now is what the product is. It is a liability to watch. I don't know if it's because it's that time of the holiday season where Vince McMahon and the WWE think, okay, people are not really in front of their televisions right now. They're not watching. It's the end of football season. Everybody's teams are competing for the playoffs, like my Carolina Panthers. So we're just not going to give a shit about the product. But we've got to improve this thing right now. We got to improve this thing quick, fast, in a hurry. Because this is why I tell you guys, hey, once football season comes up, I stop caring. Because the WWE gives no passion. Just a few weeks ago, we saw an amazing situation where the WWE was scrambling, where we thought it was old WWF Attitude Era stuff going on, where people were just making decisions based off week to week. Where's that sense of urgency? What did I say? When you book with a sense of urgency, then it shows on the product and it shows good content. And you know who I blame? The person who allegedly a couple weeks ago wrote Raw, and which was one of the worst episodes ever. Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vince, if you're concerned about the XFL, I get it. I understand. You're putting a crap ton of money into this product. But just give it to Stephanie McMahon and Triple H, or just wait until WrestleMania season. Put the XFL on hold during WrestleMania season and focus on the WWE. But you're so focused on so many different things. You're trying to become what I've heard, the Walt Disney of professional wrestling, where you're just not going to be known as the Vince McMahon, the promoter. You're Vince McMahon, the entertainer, that you've lost focus on what entertains the fans in 2018. And you're losing sight of it. And then you've got people like Xavier Woods, who's getting paid this crap ton of money from Vince McMahon, going out and calling us entitled infants. Well, let's see how much of an entitled infant that Raw rating was. It was one of the lowest ratings this past week and the week before in the television series history, and it's going to get worse until you improve it. And let me ask this to Xavier Woods. Am I an entitled infant, or am I just speaking the truth? Because the ratings say otherwise. I'm the RKJ man, and I'm always shooting my shot for greatness.
Another superstar down. Another superstar not coming on the podcast after that one.
He can come on the podcast, but I'm going to ask him, why are you calling all of us entitled infants? It's not fair for you to
Corey
tell
Graves
me.
is not coming to the podcast.
Nia Jax.
This fool's not going to come to the podcast. Nia Jax.
Xavier Woods. Vince McMahon.
Vince McMahon. Well, yeah. Roman Reigns.
No, Roman Reigns can come back on the podcast. Well, Joe can come on the podcast.
So Roman can't come on the podcast.
Joe is cool.
Yeah.
Brie Bella can't come on the podcast.
I like to have a Mike's Hard Lemonade with
Daniel
Joe.
Bryan probably can't come on the podcast either.
Jared can't come on the podcast.
No,
Jared can't come on the podcast.
Jared can come on the podcast whenever he wants to. I would love to light him up on this podcast. This is my home
Jared
soil.
would still light you up on this podcast.
He would had no clue.
You would be he would have come up with he's not afraid to say stuff, man.
I'm not afraid to say stuff either.
Kanye West isn't going to come on the podcast.
Kanye West can't come on the podcast. A. James Ellsworth can't come on the podcast. That 16-year-old girl that threatened him can't come on the podcast.
Damn. That's a whole list of people.
Who else can't come on the podcast?
Basically, I'm burying bridges on Ryan Rants, but I'm telling the truth. If I can't come on this podcast, and if I'm going to be cookie cutter just so I can get people on this podcast, then guess what? We're not going to have a good podcast. People want to see honesty in the media. They want to see honesty in their news. We talk a lot about this fake news stuff that Trump started. Okay, people don't want to see fake honesty. They want to see legit, true honesty. And I think Xavier Woods is full of BS calling us entitled infants. You can't tell me as a performer that you're satisfied mentally with your brain, your creative part of your brain, going out there and performing such BS. You might be satisfied in the wallet, but at the end of the day, when you look back on it 20 years from now, when you say, did I make an impact on the product? They're not going to be doing wrestling shoots in 20 years.
Now the question is, do you think that Xavier Woods is the only one who thinks that people like us are entitled infants?
No. And that's the sad part. And that's the reason why the WWE, until, and I just brought this up, All Elite Wrestling hopefully established, there has to be something. And that's why you see guys like Jim Ross, Chris Jericho, there's all these things. And now the Jacksonville Jaguars owner, it's getting serious now, Nick. You didn't want to take it credible at first, but now, and I told my brother this.
It was created just, I haven't even talked about it yet. How could I?
In our conversations outside of the podcast, I've said to you, hey, like this is going to happen. And you're saying to me,
you didn't say the Jacksonville Jaguars owner was going to join in.
We talked about it a couple days ago.
No, but it's a new thing that's brand new. How could I haven't even had an opinion on it yet?
Okay, what's your opinion on it then, Nick?
The All Elite Wrestling?
Yes, the rumor.
I think you have a good mix of people, just like Vince McMahon in the XFL, but that doesn't mean it's going to work.
What about if they get a major network deal?
But that's just the same. That's the same with the XFL too. It's all that is the exact same thing as the XFL. It's encouraging, but until it actually does anything, I'm not saying it's going to. The NFL and WWE are the same thing. They're both the conglomerates. They own their sport. It's the same with the NBA. Same with the NHL. Same with the MLB. People ain't watching the Dominican League. People ain't watching Russian basketball.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Soccer is the only sport that has been able to, you can watch a bunch of different leagues and still be satisfied.
I just want to make sure that
And
we
wrestling a
get
little
high
bit, too.
quality programming, and the only way we can get that, it seems like if the WWE has some type of competition, and I think the only way we can get that competition is if a major company with a major backer comes along, and it could happen with this All Elite Wrestling rumor that's going around, because if they get the Jacksonville Jaguars owner there, that's huge.
It's a guy with a lot of money. It's even better than Billy Corgan.
The fourth richest NFL owner. You've got his pockets.
Yeah,
allegedly.
but it hasn't happened yet. See, with the XFL, Vince is owning it. Now they have a commissioner, and now they have these credible people running it too. This is just more of a rumor.
But what do we
That's why
say?
I don't
Nick?
really have an opinion.
What
on
did
it,
we
yeah.
say? Where there's smoke, there's fire. There was smoke and fire with James
Yeah,
Ellsworth.
but this is a little. The James Ellsworth thing is a little different. This is a. You talk about.
There was rumors going around with the XFL. When we saw Vince McMahon buy Alpha Entertainment on this, we started saying, "Oh, it's the XFL," and it happened. All I'm saying is
Has
this.
Shad Khan actually bought? Is it official or is it just a rumor?
These are all heavy rumors.
Okay, well,
there's still rumors at the end of the day, if anything.
There's still
There's
rumors.
still rumors. The XFL is actually happening. It's real.
Yeah,
it's
that
it's
is
not.
real.
But
Yeah,
there
it's
was
real. There's a
rumors
logo.
prior. What
It
I'm
was
trying to
announced.
say, there was rumors
Well, no, but I'm not
prior
going to
to
give
the
you an
XFL.
opinion on something that hasn't happened yet. I think
Okay.
it'd be good, but it's just the same talk we've always talked about. So there's no reason in getting into it. That's what I'm saying.
If it happens, though, this could be huge.
It could-
absolutely.
Just looking too far ahead.
Yes,
I hope. I
typical
love,
We're looking too
RKJ
far
man
ahead,
looking a
man.
year ahead.
it might happen in the upcoming 2019, at the beginning of 2019.
I know, but it's way too far ahead.
It is easier to create a wrestling company than it is a football league, though. So there is. If there are rumors, it might be a little more tips. But we need to talk about something that's happening this weekend right now, and UFC 231. We continue with the big fights.
Fight after fight. Jeez, man.
Two great fights on this card. Two title fights. You have the featherweight championship match between the current champion Max Holloway versus Brian T. City Ortega. Shout out Southern California with him. And then you have the women's flyweight vacant title. Valentina Shevchenko making her return to flyweight fighting versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk. Couple good names there. Joanna Jędrzejczyk, as you know, was the longtime flyweight? She was a long-time title holder.
Until she got her ass kicked by
Rose Namajunas. Not once, but
Twice.
there you go.
Jeez.
So Valentina Shevchenko is also a fighter that has lost twice to Amanda Nunes.
And they made a second title just for her?
No. This has been a title. This has been a title that these two fighters were rumored at facing. The champion got I think steroids or something like that, so she got this title stripped of her. So this title, it's not a brand new title, but it's a title that no one's held for a while. So
it's vacant.
the flyweight title, it's vacant. It's not created. It's vacant. But nonetheless, these two women are fantastic fighters. Valentina Shevchenko. Let's go over this fight first, the women's fight, because it's not the main event; it's the co-main event. But Valentina Shevchenko, her only two losses in the UFC to Amanda Nunes by split decision. Both fights controversial in their decisions too. A lot of people thought that they just gave Nunes the title, but she's the bigger name. And Shevchenko also, I believe, no, that's the wrong thing. Never mind. But she is also has won her last fight, which was in February, so a long time ago. But she earned. But that was her first return to flyweight, which is the title she's going for, and it was the performance of the night. So, coming in hot on that one. And then looking at Jędrzejczyk real quick, we obviously know she lost consecutively to Rose Namajunas. She came back it's looking like 3 months later after losing to Namajunas in Brooklyn on that crazy card where Khabib and the Conor McGregor bust, and Namajunas was hit by glass and still was able to win the fight. Jędrzejczyk came back and defeated Tesha Torres by decision in her last fight as well. So, we're looking. I believe this is going to be her debut in flyweight too. So she's never done this. So Shevchenko, kind of the more veteran in flyweight in that case. And also, just to give more information, Shevchenko also in amateur boxing and Muay Thai fights has beat Joanna Jędrzejczyk 3 times, and Jędrzejczyk has never beat her once. But that's a different sport, so it's not the same thing. I'm sure Conor McGregor could beat Floyd Mayweather 3 times in an MMA fight, but Floyd Mayweather is going to beat Conor McGregor. So it's not comparable necessarily, but as far as the person, you're looking at their mental state, and Shevchenko probably has the up in that one. But so what are your guys' thoughts on this fight after just hearing some of that?
Joanna or the main event, or which one?
No. Let's go. We're just gonna talk about the women first.
Women first. Man, this is gonna be a tough one. Valentina and Joanna. You know, if anything, I think Joanna's gonna come hard on this one against Valentina. You know, I know she's a strong fighter, and you know, I know she tried to do her best up against Rose, but Rose, you know, completely beat her twice. So hopefully that will fuel some, you know, maybe some steam into her for Joanna for this fight up against Valentina. Valentina, this is also going to be another one that I feel like I need to watch out for. If anything, I'm going to have to go with Joanna on this one to win.
Interesting. Okay, Jim.
Both really good fighters. Great history. Good-looking women. I think
dangerous too.
Dangerous too.
Don't confuse their looks.
Ain't nothing more dangerous than a good-looking woman who could kill you. Literally could kill you. And both of these women, if you get on their bad sides, they can kill you. I'm torn on this one. Let me ask you a question, Nick.
Yes.
Is Joanna?
She's actually, excuse me, before I want to give you, you said Joanna, so I'm not really going to ask you this. Joanna is returned. She has fought flyweight before, so that I was wrong about that. Yeah, I did a little more research. Yeah, she has fought flyweight.
So is this person, her opponent at UFC 233 or 231, excuse me, that she's facing? Does she have history in the fight? You said something about a fight where she lost. Does she have history? She's that same type of boxer. She's saying that same type of fighter.
No, they used to do Muay Thai kickboxing versus each other, and this is back in 06, 05 when these women were very, very young.
But does she use Muay Thai in her UFC type of fighting?
Yes, she does. Yes, she does.
All right. I might have to go with the other chick on this one.
Shevchenko?
Yeah,
I know the names are hard.
Yeah, I'm not saying the names.
I think one is Polish,
say
right?
Valentina and Joanna. That's
Valentina. I might have to go with Valentina because I think there's something about having a mental edge and a mental advantage when you've beaten someone before, even if it was 10 plus years ago. She beat her, you know, and that's something to be said. She can use some of those techniques that she used even in that fight, in that environment, on Saturday night. So I'm going to go with Valentina, man. I think Valentina's got some, and she looks ripped. She looks buff. Yeah. Like she's much bigger.
She might throw a couple sneaky ones on She's going to throw some
sneaky ones. And I think all she's got to do is get her in one of those submissions, man. And it's done for her.
Maybe, I don't know. I mean.
Lights out.
This is going to be a tough.
It's going to be. It's a very tough fight thing. So you say Joanna.
I'm going.
By the way,
Joanna.
her name is Joanna Violence. That's her. That's her nickname.
I love it.
I know. And you're going with Joanna. You're going with Valentina. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to go draw. I think they tie. I don't
Another
see,
draw? What the hell, man?
I'm sick and tired of these draws, bro.
I don't see a winner in this.
You
I don't know
draws
who
in
to pick.
the boxing ring. You got draws in the restaurants.
These two fighters are too damn good, and they're very similar. If I had to pick gun to my head, I'm going Valentina because what you said. It was 10 years ago or whatever, but it's still, you know, Valentina has beat her 3 times in some sporting event. You know what I'm saying? So. But I'm going to go draw. So one of us' decision will be correct in this. And we'll
Worst case scenario, unanimous decision. Unanimous decision.
Yeah, I think so too. I think they go the distance, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's for a title, so it's 5 rounds. I think this is going to be a fantastic fight. If you're not thinking about watching this pay-per-view, this is the co-main event. This ain't the main event. This could be main event worthy already. Mm-hmm. But so let's move to the main event. Brian T. City Ortega versus the current champion, Max Blessed Holloway. Holloway coming from Hawaii. He is defended.
Hope he enjoyed himself.
Yeah, what I read that.
Too relaxed, bro.
Yeah, Max Holloway is 22-3, back-to-back wins versus Jose Aldo to capture this title. He won the title originally from Anthony Pettis, and he has 12 consecutive wins on his record.
That's a lot about Max Holloway this year, bro.
Yeah, no, we have.
He's been all over our podcast,
he's been at it this year.
The fight is happening in Toronto. Max Holloway won the title in Toronto a couple years back. So, and one of the reasons Holloway hasn't fought as much since he won that title is because of injuries. So just, explaining, he's not taking the time off. He's not doing the Brock Lesnar thing. He's just been injured a little bit. Yeah, so and he wins most of his fights by TKO or submission. And then looking at T-City, he's a jiu-jitsu guy. Holloway is also a jiu-jitsu guy. Brian T-City Ortega is 14-0, and he's a chokeout artist. Most of his fights are won by decision or rear naked chokes and stuff like that. So, look, and he's never won the title before. So he has wins over, I believe, Frankie Edgar. Not as famous as the guys Holloway's fought. But that's one of the reasons he's the contender coming up. He's trying to earn that respect. If he can beat a guy like Holloway, I think he's absolutely the champion. I'll give my prediction first on this one. I think Brian T-City Ortega, the pride of Southern California, wins this fight by submission. I'm going to go submission in the 4th round.
Ooh, okay.
How many rounds is it going to be, Nick?
5 rounds. 5 rounds for the title. For the featherweight title.
Dang. Well, first of all, Max Holloway looked way too relaxed in that press conference.
12 straight wins. Why wouldn't you be relaxed? But he hasn't lost in years.
You got to be confident.
But you're going up against a guy who's a choke artist, who's 14-0, undefeated, who's definitely coming for your title. I just think
absolutely.
I've got to see a little bit more aggression from Max Holloway. I think he's resting a little bit too much on his laurels. Maybe knows he's already going to get the big payday. I think Brian Ortega is that hungry young lion, just like I see with Khabib. I think he's coming out there and he's choking him in the 2nd round.
Ooh, okay, 2nd round.
All
right.
You're saying Ortega, 2nd round?
Yes, Ortega.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so basically we're Ortega fans because I'm going to go with Ortega.
We'll make our money on the women's match. Yeah.
If anything, I think he's going to try to make this fight, come to a close quick and make it in the 2nd round, choke him out in the 2nd round.
Oh, my goodness.
If anything, because...
So you go a knockout, 2nd round?
I'm going.
He knocked out Frankie Edgar, his last opponent, in the first round.
Knockout or submission?
Knockout.
I'm going
knockout.
Submission.
You're going submission.
I'm going submission in the 2nd round.
So you guys are saying the same thing.
Yeah, submission. All 3 of us are going submission.
Exactly. He finished Frankie Edgar, just to give this guy more credit. He finished Frankie Edgar in the first round. That was the first person ever to finish Frankie Edgar. Frankie Edgar.
He's also another guy
had never been finished in the in MMA before, not even UFC. So. And he won fight night. This fight was also supposed to happen UFC 226 in July. I believe that was the card where Brock Lesnar came out.
Yeah, that was Stipe versus Miocic.
Oh man, that card was unbelievable.
That was one hell of a
So that match was supposed to happen then, and due to Holloway having concussion-like symptoms, like I said, he's had a lot of injuries. So Ortega's been just waiting and waiting.
See, that's the thing
for
too.
Max Holloway.
You have all those
he's
injuries.
Just like, I'm gonna rip you apart. I'm gonna choke you out. I'm gonna take your damn title. This ain't no interim title. Oh, here's another interesting fact, just to throw some out there. There is actually no interim champions right now. First time in a while, UFC, there's all legitimate champions. There's no injuries and stuff like that. There's no interim champions. It's all so every fight you see from here on out, at least in the more recent future, is all for big titles. So 231 is going to be a very interesting card. 2 great fights. The rest of the card's kind of iffy. So you might want to just watch the pay-per-view part of it. You probably don't even need to see the FS1 part of it. But
just co-main event and main event.
That's worth the money. That's worth the money in itself. I mean, we watch a boxing match for 1 fight. So why not watch UFC for 2? That's why UFC has Boxing Beat, to be honest. One thing I want to say real quick before we end the podcast, you were talking about Jack Swagger in MMA. So he's fighting at that card January 26th. That's the same fight where the Bellator Heavyweight Grand Prix finishes. That's Fedor versus Ryan Bader. That's a big card. There's 2 titles going on there. And it's also the same night as UFC 233 at the Honda Center. That's going to be a good weekend.
Competing against each
these guys
other.
are going to go up against
each other. Is the Royal Rumble that same weekend, too?
It is that same
This might
weekend.
be one of those big weekends for us.
It's fight weekend, man.
Look out for the ring generals at one of these events.
Yeah. 100%. We'll be at one of those for sure.
So stay tuned for that.
I want to see where that MMA fight's going to be.
If not, I'm going to do my best.
214's at the Forum, too.
It's at
Man,
Inglewood.
we can go if we want to, we can go to one of these things. We go see Jack Swagger fight, the Heavyweight Grand Prix. We go see the Honda Center, go see UFC 233.
And then we just go straight to
and
Phoenix.
Then go Chase Field for Royal Rumble the next day. That 233 card, though, also, just to give you a little preview, it's the last ever flyweight men's title. They're disbanding it after this. It's Henry Cejudo versus TJ Dillashaw. Ben Askren is making his UFC debut versus Robbie Lawler. Dominic Cruz, who's one of the announcers, is going to be fighting that card.
The same guy who trained CM Punk.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly. And then also host Jose Aldo is supposed to fight on that card too. So that's going to be a good competition. It's going to be a good night in MMA for sure.
I thought he retired.
And then probably you'll have NXT TakeOver Phoenix
NXT Takeover Phoenix. You'll have the Royal Rumble the next day.
By the way, give that information on NXT at WrestleMania time. What happened to NXT?
So they moved it. They moved
Right.
it from that Saturday night when they were competing
got some
with
competition,
when they were
baby.
competing
Damn.
with Ring of Honor, the G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden. Ring of Honor, New Japan G1 Supercard. They moved it to Friday night. So now NXT Takeover in WrestleMania weekend at WrestleMania will be on Friday. Saturday will be the Hall of Fame. Sunday obviously will be WrestleMania. So if you want to watch NXT Takeover, you can watch it without having to flip channels between that and Ring of Honor.
That'd be
I'm going to be
awesome.
watching
That'd
a
be
lot of
smart.
wrestling that weekend. I'm going to be binge watching wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch that.
And,
like, if
that
you-
Ring of Honor card.
Like,
too.
if you know me, don't
Right.
try to contact me until Monday. What's
till
Friday?
Monday.
Yeah, okay, here, question. Don't contact RKJ Man this Saturday, and don't contact him for that weekend for different reasons. But don't contact him. Yeah.
Don't
And-
contact
Don't
me.
contact him this Saturday. We're not going to explain why, but
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
contact
Don't
him this
contact
Saturday.
me.
And I'll say this too. WrestleMania weekend will be the return of Slammin' Sunday.
Oh, yes.
It is confirmed.
That is so far in advance, but I'm already excited.
Yes.
I'm
already
already
getting excited.
excited.
So you know, I'm just gonna throw
It's
it out
official.
Yeah.
We've made it. We've made
Slammin'
it a year
Sunday.
thing now. We made it a year thing. Slammin'
That was so fun
Sunday.
last year.
Okay, OC Rock Radio. Listen to Eric's show. Slammin' Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And listen to Slammin' Saturday Sunday. Eric, what you want to plug?
Yeah.
there. Well, okay. So first off, this Saturday I will be promoting UFC 231. If you want to see more of an extended version of this from Ring Generals, make sure to check it out this Saturday morning, 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. I'll be throwing in a lot of heavy metal and
Where-
also what's up?
I'm sorry. Keep going.
Oh, and also a lot of music from the UFC to be thrown into OC Rock Radio. So
Where
stay
can
tuned.
you find OC Rock Radio, Eric? That's what I was gonna say.
Check it out on the TuneIn app or the website www.ocrockradio.com. We're closing it. We're closing the show right now, or what? Or just the?
Yes, we are closing.
Yes,
the
we're
show.
starting to close the show.
Okay. So
I've got to
so-
get some Chick-fil-A, bro.
Okay, so
I'm hungry.
All right,
okay?
so what else? I plug. Okay, just check out my social media. Eric Santos Facebook, and also Instagram _Santos_9. Check me out, and also the Video Game Cafe 1 on Instagram, and also Twitch, YouTube. I streamed Metal Slug, went a little bit retro last night, so stay tuned for another episode for that.
How many people did you kill in Red Dead Redemption? I just need to know.
I gotta get myself that game, man. It sounds fun.
Well, there's a lot of train robberies. There's a lot of people you rob. A lot of scumbags.
but you
gotta
can choose. You can choose what you want. You could be the nicest
You
guy
can be
ever.
the nice guy. You can be the
yeah,
bad guy.
You could be the manager of
It's-
like a
yeah.
restaurant if you want to be.
Yeah, you ride horses. It's basically just
People come in and
you,
fight.
yeah. You can start.
Anything's possible.
You can
Anything
start.
is possible.
You can start bar fights. You can start fight with anybody else. You get to hunt. It's basically Grand Theft Auto Western version.
Same company makes the game.
Rockstar Games, and also kill KKK people. Yeah,
That's a good one, RKJ man, for you to
That's
do.
my favorite one.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm gonna do that for the name of RKJ Man.
Thank
on
you.
the
I
next
appreciate it,
gameplay.
bro.
Yeah.
You kill those KK people.
There's a lot of them out there, so I have not I've
On
not
Red
gone
Dead
through all of them.
Redemption.
I heard
too.
though, if you
On Red
bring
Dead
a black
Redemption.
person around those KKK guys, they don't really do anything now, which
No,
is
they won't.
kind of unrealistic.
No, you
the
won't.
video
KKK
game?
guys are pussies in real life, and they're pussies on the video game.
in the video game or in real
Yeah.
life?
You could take them to the clan meeting, and they don't do anything. That's
Yeah.
weird. Like they don't. You'd think they like. Kill you
Yeah,
or
there's
something.
a black character by the name of Lenny. You take them there, and then they don't do anything, but they just say something verbal about him, which I'm not
That's
going
what
to
I
say.
don't like. That's what I don't like, man.
But you get to shoot him afterwards.
See?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Love shooting people.
Whoa. Video
Crips.
games.
Remember.
Video
Crips.
games. Stop
If-
stop doing
if
that,
there's
man.
any-
It's
if
not
there's
funny
anything,
anymore.
if there's anything that
It's not funny
my
anymore,
thing
bro.
is plugged into a blue thing. Now.
No, it's not funny, bro. Stop making
Can I
jokes
plug
about
my
stuff.
stuff? Can I plug my stuff?
Yes.
Yeah, go
plug
for
it.
it.
So on most of my social media, besides on Snapchat, I'm at Nick_Nenad, on Twitter at Nick Nenad, all lowercase. Instagram all lowercase at Nick Nenad, and then of course Facebook, Crip Nick Nenad on Facebook.
Oh my Lord Jesus! This dude gonna get us
I'm
lit
just
up
kidding.
one day.
I'm just kidding.
Keep-
I have no affiliation. I live in the suburbs. But so that's my stuff. I do the Cover 2 podcast every Wednesday at 9 a.m. with my co-host Jared Smith, 9 to 11. And that sounds like about it.
Your
I may
newest
make
episode
an
is up.
appearance.
Yes.
I may make
Your-
an appearance
your
on
newest
Wednesday.
Next week?
There's a possibility.
Okay.
I'm on vacay. So
if you come in though, I might have to have Jared come in the next Cover 2 podcast, or excuse me, the next Ring Generals podcast.
Well, I've already hyped up the fact that I was thinking about coming on the podcast.
I know.
I know. Because
I have to respond. Do you have any parting words for Jared that we're doing this again? Before you do your promotion, do you have anything to say to Mr. Jared Smith? Because we're going to start this promotion right now.
There ain't nothing little about me, bro. That's all I'm going to say, bro. You call me a little man, and I'm going to show you why I'm the big man. I'm going to show you why I'm the biggest man you've ever seen. If I come on that podcast Wednesday, I'm going to tell you why your Dallas Cowboys are still not making the playoffs despite being 7-5 and beating the New Orleans Saints. I'm still going to hit that blasphemous nonsense on Wednesday.
I gotta know.
And you want to chill up on this too? You want to be there too?
On top of that, hold on. On top of that, I know you're going to talk to me about my Carolina Panthers. I'm going to tell you why I still think Ron Rivera should get fired this Wednesday if you listen.
It's good promotion.
Right. Yeah. I gotta know this for if it's confirmed that the RKJ Man is going to go there. Then we got to promote on the OC Rock Radio Instagram page.
100%.
Yes.
Well, look,
we got to prepare for that.
The last time I did Jared versus the RKJ Man, it got some of the best ratings Cover 2's ever gotten.
It got some pretty solid ratings.
It got some solid
Especially
views.
your guys' actual argument I posted up there. That got some... People were like...
I keep watching that.
Yeah.
People were digging it. What did people around you say? They said they enjoyed it.
They said they were... You know what's funny? The people that were more on Jared's side defended Jared, didn't like your appearance. And I think the people on your side liked your appearance. So there's definitely some good stuff that comes out of that.
You need to show it to some people who are fair, just in the middle. Doesn't know
I know.
either.
Remember, I told you what my mom said, though, about what you say sometimes on the podcast. So
if you haven't noticed, I haven't said it.
I agree. But
you said it twice.
We didn't finish the podcast, though. Give your stuff.
Look, man, it's the RKJ Man on Facebook on my page, RKJ Man on Twitter, RKJ Man on Instagram. Okay, all right. Watch me follow my dreams, y'all, and also, man, subscribe to our content, man. It's YouTube, it's SoundCloud. If you know a friend, they like wrestling, they like boxing, they like MMA, or they just like random stuff. Tell them to subscribe to the podcast, man. Shout out to that person who subscribed earlier this week. We don't know who you are, but shout outs to you. Thank you, okay, man?
I think I know who that is, actually. It's actually my good buddy, or it might be my good buddy Donnie. He used to go to high school with me.
Shout outs to him.
Shout outs to you, Donnie. Because he did texted me about that. And he said, "Oh yeah, man, I subscribe to your channel for Ring Generals. Really good stuff. Look forward to." So yes. Thank you, Donnie, and also thank you, City Wrestling Radio, for
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Backing us. By the way, rest in peace to anybody who put Derrick Henry on their bench in fantasy football tonight, because he has like 200 yards.
It's over for you.
Rest in peace if you had Derrick Henry on your fantasy team and didn't play him tonight.
God bless you.
Yeah.
All right, man. Whether you are doing fantasy football, whether you're at UFC, whether you're at WWE, whether you're doing a boxing match, or if you're fighting in a restaurant, raise a glass in the sky and salute the Ring Generals.